On this edition, I'm going to break down and predict the upcoming fight between Joseph Benavidez and Demetrious Johnson. Now, this is obviously the Flyweight tournament finals. Felt like it's taken forever for this to get here, given the fact that Ian McCall and Demetrious Johnson's first fight being a draw, because the scores from the judges were reported wrong. Big controversy. Second fight happened. Obviously, Johnson defeated McCall via decision. And now we finally get our tournament final. This should be an entertaining fight. I mean, some people don't like the flyweight division, how tiny these guys are. I think this is a very entertaining division. I think a lot of these fights have really been impressive, and I think they've put on fights for the fans. So I'm personally very excited for this fight. This is obviously the headline fight, the main event on UFC 152. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm just going to break down both fights. I'm going to do my predictions. So I'll start with Demetrious Johnson. Now, Demetrious Johnson fights with incredible toughness, a lot of heart, and a relentless pace in the stand-up department. Not so much where it's relentless, where he's getting into brawls, but Demetrious Johnson's a very smart stand-up fighter. He likes to pick his spots. He does have a 1-inch reach advantage in this fight. I don't know how that's going to play the biggest factor, but it's still a very slight advantage in the reach. But smart fighter. It's not so much he's going to get inside and he's going to beat you up. He likes to pick his spots. And he's very, I think the biggest credit to him is his speed and explosiveness, and especially against a fighter like Benavidez, who's also fast. I think his speed, Demetrious Johnson's speed, is going to complement him well in this fight. Johnson likes to sit outside. He likes to pop in and get out. He doesn't like to put himself really in dangerous situations. But he can be both aggressive and he can also counter-strike as well. And he's a very dynamic striker. He uses hands, uses legs, knees, elbows, you name it. And a lot of credit to his footwork. His footwork, his hand speed, and his smart stand-up style are definitely complement him very well. And also, the accurate striker. Demetrious Johnson does not hit air much. Accurate striker. In regards to his ground game, he can fight well out of the clinch. He has a good single, good double. It's his explosiveness and his technique, really, that allow him to get fighters down the ground. Can he take down a wrestler the caliber of Joseph Benavidez is the biggest question. And when Johnson gets down, he can fight well in the dominant position. He can ground and pound. He can submit fighters as well. He does have quite a few submissions on his resume. He can fight well off his back. He does have pretty good takedown defense. We saw Ian McCall expose it. But when he is on the ground, he's very squirmy. He can submit guys off his back. Do I see him doing the Benavidez? Absolutely not. I don't see any guy getting submitted in this fight. But he's very squirmy. He's not easy to keep down on the ground. We've seen it get exposed before, but not easy to get down, not easy to keep down. Very squirmy guy. So a couple things about Demetrious Johnson. Definitely the reach advantage. Is he the faster fighter in this fight? I mean, I think it's probably a draw. Both guys are very quick. I think his smarts in the stand-up department could very well help him. That's if Benavidez wants to turn it into a brawl. So I personally don't think he's the better wrestler, too. I know he's got a good wrestling game, but I think Benavidez actually has the slight advantage in the wrestling department. So where I see Demetrious Johnson being successful in this fight, I think Demetrious Johnson, I mean, he's got to try and finish Benavidez. That's a very tall task. Benavidez has never been finished before. If not, you got to go bring to decision. It's a 5-round fight, given the fact that it's a championship fight. He's got to fight it smart. I mean, Benavidez likes to turn the brawl. He likes to be aggressive. He likes to get in your face. He likes to make it a really gritty fight. Now, I think Demetrious Johnson's got to be the smarter fighter in this fight. He's got to pick his spots. He's got to at least use his slight reach advantage. He's got to pick his spots. He's got to chop down Benavidez and beat him up. And it's got to be a complete fight. So where I see Demetrious Johnson being successful in this fight, I don't see him having the power to finish Benavidez or to be the first guy to finish Benavidez. But if he is to win this fight, it's either via split or unanimous decision. He's got to be the smarter fighter that night and use his entire game to defeat Joseph Benavidez. So that's what I have in regards to Demetrious Johnson. Joseph Benavidez, obviously, is a team alpha male product. He's obviously moving down to the flyweight division. I want to say he's a very strong guy for the division. He had an impressive fight, had a knockout in the flyweight tournament in the first round. Absolutely devastating, impressive fashion. The guy's got some serious power for the division. I'd definitely say he's one of the more powerful guys. You know, Ian McCall had good power. Joseph Benavidez is right up there. Probably some of the best power in the division. So what he really brings to the table, he's a very quick fighter too. I don't want to say he's the smarter fighter on his feet, but what Benavidez likes to do, he likes to be gritty. He likes to turn fights into brawls. He likes to get inside a fighter's reach. He lets you know you've been in a fight. He likes to be. I mean, go back. I mean, the only guy that Joseph Benavidez has lost to twice is Dominic Cruz. He's never been finished before. Very tough, good heart. You can never count out Joseph Benavidez in the fight. So, like I said, he likes to pop inside, and he throws a lot of combinations. I mean, he's an accurate striker. I don't want to say he's the smarter stand fighter, but if it turns into a gritty fight, getting inside, throwing the combinations, he's just constantly in your face. Kind of like Johnson is, but Johnson likes to pick his spots. Benavidez is just constantly working, constantly throwing strikes, letting you know you've been in a fight. Got good hands. I mean, his boxing is superb. He works the body. He likes to come up to the face. He likes to throw combos in at least threes. He likes the three-strike combos. He also likes to finish a lot of his combinations with leg kicks as well. He is at a reach disadvantage in this fight, very slight, 1-inch reach disadvantage in this fight. But I think his good footwork, his good head movement, hand speed will definitely make up for the reach. That's if he can get inside of Demetrious Johnson's strikes. That'll be a big factor if he can pressure and get inside Demetrious Johnson. Not to mention also connect. I mean, Benavidez is an accurate striker, likes to pop in. But if you could hit Demetrious Johnson is a difficult guy to hit. He's very squirmy, both in the stamp and on the ground. Regardless of Benavidez's ground game, the guy's a team alpha male product. I mean, some really good wrestlers in that camp. Benavidez has got some outstanding wrestling. Good top game. He's got good ground and pound. When he likes to rock fights, likes to get on the top, likes to rain down the ground and pound. Got a very underrated submission game as well. And a few things, Benavidez obviously has a slight reach disadvantage. I think he's definitely the better wrestler in this fight. I'd say speed. I think it's probably a draw. Explosiveness, though, I'm definitely going to have to give a slight advantage to Demetrious Johnson. So a couple things. Where I think Joseph Benavidez is successful in this fight is that he's got to be gritty. He's got to turn it into a brawl. I think that's the guy that beats Demetrious Johnson. A technical fight could work, but I think if he's to get inside the strikes, if he's to cut off Demetrious Johnson when working in the stand-up department, I think it's got to be a little bit of everything. Like I said about Demetrious Johnson, it's got to be a complete fight in order to defeat these guys. I mean, Demetrious Johnson's never been fished. Joseph Benavidez has never been fished. Benavidez's got to be gritty. He's got to get inside the strikes. He's got to throw the combinations. He's got to really test that chin of Demetrious Johnson. Not to mention, he's got to also impose as well. Definitely, seeing that he's definitely at least the slight better wrestler in this fight, work the ground and pound, get him down to the ground. We saw what Ian McCall did in the final round of their first fight. Impose your will and beat him down. Now, I think I'm going to give a slight power advantage to Joseph Benavidez. I think Benavidez can most definitely finish Demetrious Johnson, but the strikes got to add up, and he's presented with the opportunity. He's got to go in for the kill. So I think Joseph Benavidez could either take this fight, win by a close decision or a unanimous decision, but I think he could most definitely TKO or knock out Demetrious Johnson, be the first guy to finish him. It'll be a very tall task. So where my prediction lies in this fight is that this is going to be an everything fight. I don't see it being a first round, second round, third round fish. If there's a fish, it's going to be in the later rounds. Where my prediction lies, it's going to be stand-up. There's going to be wrestling. There's going to be ground and pound. There's going to be submission attempts. It's going to be a little bit of everything. What it comes down to, I think it's going to be a late round fight, fourth or fifth round. I think Joseph Benavidez's strikes are going to add up. I see him connecting with a big strike on Demetrious Johnson. I see him either winning this fight via TKO or knockout and being crowned the flyweight champion in the UFC. So I'm going to take Joseph Benavidez defeating Demetrious Johnson via TKO or knockout in at least round 4 or 5. And being crowned the new flyweight champion in the UFC. And that's what I have for this edition.